Good morning, guys. Friday morning frenzy. You've got Mark, Novak, and myself this morning. I'm filling in for Michael Bergio. We're going to be talking this morning with no intro, actually. We're just going to get straight into it, guys, about firing your agent or your property manager.
Oh,
What do you reckon, Mark?
stressful.
Which part?
There's
Which
legal,
part?
there's the emotional side to it, there's the business side to it, there's the legislative side to it. There's a lot of different aspects we're going to cover to make sure you're doing it properly. You should do it, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So, look, I think the long and short of it is this, guys. If you are in an exclusive agency agreement with your real estate agent, and you are terribly unhappy, it's quite tricky to get out of that exclusive agency agreement. However, what an exclusive agency agreement means is that, for use of a better word, you're actually married to that real estate agent for that duration of time. You can actually sign into another exclusive agency agreement. It does, however, mean that you may very well be up for two commissions. You can have 10 agency agreements going on all the one time, but you may be liable to pay each of those real estate agents a commission. The other thing is sometimes those agency agreements aren't filled out correctly, Mark.
Yeah, there's certain elements that have to be done that agents sometimes new to the industry or even old to the industry don't get right. So check. A good agent would know how to check that, or a good lawyer. But there's also the rental side of things. Look, the only reason that people generally will switch their agent is not getting a result. So the property hasn't sold or the
Yep.
property hasn't rented. If it hasn't, or with rentals also, if there's been a couple of stuff ups that are just becoming so frustrating that the landlord just wants to put a bullet through the agent. It happens. But it's, I guess that switch sometimes is a lot easier to do than you think. So we're often getting clients that are switching to us. We call it a cleanup in sales when a property's not sold and it switches to us and we get it sold.
Yeah.
We call that a cleanup. In rentals, what biggest complaint in rentals is their property manager's changing all the time. So
Massive.
they've
Yeah.
got a relationship with the property manager, new person comes in, drops the ball, then they sort it all out. New person comes in, drops the ball, then they sort it all out. And the owner's like, I just don't have continuity with my property.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just talk about the rentals just for a moment, guys, because swapping over your property manager is actually a lot easier than you think. And as Mark said, that's the biggest complaint that we get in our industry, is that it was Debbie one minute, it was Sally the next. They never know who their property manager is. That continuity that we're referring to is something that we actually had identified in our business probably about 10 years ago now. And so what we did was we took our 3 senior property managers who have been with us for over 10 years, and we gave them these super pods to manage. So we said, okay, Brunka, okay, Cleo, okay, Tina, you girls are here and you've been here with us for a really, really long time. The landlords all know you and love you. We're going to give you these super pods and we're going to give you assistance to help with running those super pods. And I have to say, it's worked an absolute treat.
Almost gave them their business within our business.
Yeah.
So that autonomy and that freedom to make decisions, to employ, to fire, to change, to have systems that suit themselves.
Yeah.
But I think the result for the clients is they've just got these unbelievable property managers that look after everything from A to Z. And a good property manager, with all the compliance, and it's forever changing compliance, a good property manager really knows their stuff. And when they're across a lot of properties, there's less prone to error because they've got that experience. They can see across the business, particularly with our businesses within our business, the mistakes that can possibly happen, and you're sort of plugging the hole before it does. You're making the turn before you get to the corner, where it's too late. So a good property manager's almost got like laser beam focus.
Not only that, guys, swapping over a property manager is an absolute walk in the park. The outgoing agency is going to tell you how hard it is. They're going to tell you that you need to give at least 60 to 90 days notice
You keep your
in
tenant.
order to terminate. Yeah, they're gonna make it they're gonna make it sound very hard.
Yep.
Trust me when I tell you, it's an absolute walk in the park. If you're not happy with the agency and the property manager that is managing your property, the switching over is very, very easy. In fact, that takes place, we do it all for you. That takes place within 24 hours. We even send the letter to your property manager to let them know that we will be taking over the files. We actually pay out at Novak, we actually pay out that notice period that you may need to give to the agency.
Yep.
So that we can collect the files for you immediately. As I said, it's an absolute walk in the park. The one thing that really bothers me about that part of our industry with property management is that you could have been a beauty therapist 3 weeks ago, and then now you're managing someone's biggest asset. And I always liken it to a bag of cash. Imagine giving your bag of cash to someone who just doesn't know what they're doing. You put all your trust into them, and they could have been a beauty therapist 3 weeks ago. Not that there's anything wrong with beauty therapists, but I'm not sure that they're, going to make great property managers. So, again, I want to draw down on the fact that our property managers, Tina, Cleo, Bronca, have been with our agency for more than 10 years. These girls have got industry knowledge that extends past 15 years.
Yep.
And it's all great until something goes wrong. And when it does, it goes wrong really, really fast.
Absolutely.
Truth.
And
Truth.
then sales as well, Lise, like with cleanups with sales. Sometimes that's, it's often when a property is not sold, it's price, product, promotion. And then people think, oh my God, I just don't, I'm not getting that result. And what do I do now? And sometimes the agent gets fatigued.
Yeah.
There's agent fatigue. So perfectly good agent, but they've been sitting on the property for such a long time that they're just not reinventing themselves.
Yeah.
And the property and the energy. So going to that new agent, high energy, bang, it gets sold. So often with us, we're taking over business from clients that are unsold. We're high energy. We've got new solutions. We're not just cookie cutting another standard campaign.
Well, that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I actually love doing the cleanups. It's probably one of my most favourite part of my job.
They're a motivated seller.
I love it when, vendors have come to me, and it's generally the same story. It's, we don't trust the agent anymore. We're not getting any results. We haven't had any offers, or we've had very little offers. They're not doing open homes. There's no energy going through that campaign. I love that I've got a lifeline for these vendors, and the success rate of getting them sold is enormous. And not only that, we're not taking on their listings, and and again, just doing the same thing. The vendor is often telling me the same story. As I said, that their trust is gone. They're emotionally and financially and physically burnt out.
Yep.
The open homes, they're just rolling their eyes in the back of their head, and they've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on marketing. We have a lifeline, guys, that doesn't involve any of that stuff.
Like, how many times in your life do you sell your property?
Yeah.
It's a big monetary, financial, emotional decision. It's a home. So it's big. This is really, really big for people. And when it's unsold, what a heartbreaker.
Absolutely. But also I think it's important to know, guys, there is hope and there is help. We have the solutions there for you.
Yep.
And even if you're outside of the area and you're watching this and you're thinking, that is me, I'm not happy with my property manager, that is me, I am not getting a result from my real estate agent, I don't know what they're doing, just reach out to us. We're very, very happy to help you with some advice. I had a lovely person contact me from out of area the other day. They'd been on the market with another agent for a really long time. And I asked them the same standard questions that I ask a lot of my clients when I'm doing a cleanup. When was your last offer? How much was your last offer? How much have you spent on marketing? And are they still doing open homes? Because there's nothing that a buyer hates more when you see on a real estate ad and it says contact agent. There is nothing that says do not contact a real estate agent more than those two words.
And look, I've helped people that just tweak their campaigns to get them sold with that agent. So sometimes just talking to some other local agents
I
in the
agree.
area
Yep.
will actually, good agents will help you out if you can't get your property sold.
A lot of people don't realise, guys, we have a massive property management division. We manage 2,000 properties, which is a significant amount of properties. We have one of the, if not the largest property management division on the Northern Beaches. So, you know, what does that mean for you? It means that we are great at what we do, and to be able to manage those sorts of numbers, you've got to have the absolute specialists in the industry doing it. So there's not much stuff that we just don't know about that kind of stuff as well. By the way, can we just talk about fees for 2 minutes? I know we've got to scoot, but management fees. If you are paying anything less, and I'm talking about around Sydney, I know it changes significantly when you go up to Queensland. If you're paying anything less than 5.5%, inclusive of GST, for your management fees, anything less than that, you are getting what you pay for.
What do you think of that? And selling fees?
Selling fees, I think anything, you know, again, Northern Beaches, I know it changes a little bit as you go out to the eastern suburbs and other areas, but Northern Beaches, look, somewhere between, I think 1.5 is low, somewhere between though 1.5 to 2% plus GST is probably the numbers that we hear regularly. Anything under that, again, that's all the agent's probably worth.
Guys, switching your agent, firing your agent, that is how you can do it today for rentals, for sales in New South Wales. Call us if you need help.
And it should cost zero.
Love ya. See ya.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.